Chad Daybell's demeanor in the courtroom. The little itty bitty gherkin sits at the table, and although I have my great big pickle professor's hat, I want all of you to know that we have not really done a live stream on Chad Daybell's demeanor. So I'm going to give you my thoughts of old Chatty boy, Mr. Gherkin himself, and let y'all know what I think, because I've read a lot of really good comments. Hello, Dog Mom. Hi, Karen Lee Holland and Sugar Butt Starburst. Do y'all like old KJ's pickle hat? Isn't it special, y'all? I'll tell you what, old Chatty wishes he had one that big, huh? Hello, Beach Lady Maria P. Just me. I live for now. Jill Schneider, Leanne Forsberg, the Gherkin hat. Except, Leanne, this Gherkin hat is a big pickle. An old Chatty boy doesn't have but a little itty bitty gherkin. Hey, Dog Mom. Hi, RJ Lane. Are y'all having a good day? It was cut short in the court today. I just, they've had all this time. You would think they could continue to seek this justice without taking all these breaks. If they were going to go out like they were today, they should have just cut the breaks in half or anything to that effect. Hello, Moonlight View. Why cut short? Well, I guess, Karen Lee, they all, they want to get paid, but they don't want to do their jobs. That's just my opinion. I know. Lindsay Blake said there was reasons behind of it. It had to do with witnesses and how the witnesses, they all had to come in at a certain time and some were going to run long. And of course, y'all know tomorrow there is no court. So you just have to deal with OKJ and the Gherkin hat today. So let me tell y'all all about what I think about Chad Daybell in the courtroom in his death penalty case. All right. I believe that Chad right now is first and foremost, y'all, he's puckering that ass. I mean, he's sitting in that seat behind the table and his butt is like squished up tight because he knows with everything that's being said that he's guiltier than hell. How about that? That don't take nobody with any kind of pickle professor degree to let anybody know anything about that. They just don't want to be working as hard to make sure Chad gets the death penalty, says Karen Lee Holland. Sugarbutt Starburst says there was a officer killed tomorrow is his funeral, hence why no court tomorrow. Okay, so I didn't know that. God bless him. God bless his family. I understand, and that's awful. And my prayers are with him and their whole community. But I will say this. They are taking too many breaks. And they are going until what? They're not even, some of these trials, y'all, go till 5 or 6 in the evening. And they're not even full weeks of trial. And I mean, this is a death penalty case, and I think it should run more, but I understand about tomorrow. Thank you for waking me up to reality. All right, Sugar Butt. Karen Lee says first deputy killed in Ada County. That's so sad. That is so sad. Fancy Nancy, where did I get the pickle hat? I got it off my Amazon account. While Lori was taking Charles's Amazon account and buying her wedding dress and malachite rings, she ordered malachite rings from, I think, Etsy, and then the guy said he couldn't fulfill the order, so I don't know if she got the malachite rings on Amazon, but she did get her Hawaii dress from Amazon. I got it on Amazon. And if I ain't got a smile out of all y'all, then this is just KJ being KJ, trying to get a smile from all of you. Y'all, this trial is just so damn tragic that I just gotta lighten it somehow. And I know it's hard to do that. But Chad Daybell does need to be discussed about his demeanor in court, and I'm going to do that. I think for everyone that takes the stand, especially today when that FBI agent took the stand, that was, you can't, there is no defense with that. None whatsoever. That was stuff that John Pryor couldn't even touch. He tried. He tried to discredit how the FBI collects and analyzes that data. But, folks, law enforcement agencies all over this country, perhaps the world, use this same company. VixTech says it looks like a medieval headdress. Well, it's supposed to be a pickle. Supposed to be a pickle, and some of y'all thought it was, but if you need me to be a medieval princess or a lady in waiting, I can do that, VixTech. Ooh, I wait upon my King Arthur. Oh, Lord. Okay, here we go, y'all. Donna says, I think some of the jury have children that have to be picked up while school is in, thus the early days. It just seemed like there are several questions to jurors about child pickup responsibility. Okay, now it's starting to... See, I don't have all the answers. Donna or VixTech or Sugar Bud or any of y'all. I'm here just giving my views of everything, and I just felt like since we cut it short today on a Monday, that okay, Jay, break out the pickle hat. Or as VixTech would say, the medieval lady in waiting. But I still think it's a pickle. But Chad Daybell, he's sitting there. Someone had put in the comments on Difficult Research that John Pryor looked like it was annoying him when Chad would lean over and whisper to him. I think John Pryor is way in over his head. I think he's given a good defense, but at the same time, I think he knows that his client's goose is cooked. Wouldn't it be funny to put a bunch of pickles on skewers in KJ's lawn? Yes, CSI, crowdsourced illuminations. Wouldn't that be interesting? I'll tell you what, you ain't gonna put much past old KJ. I'll do just about anything just to put a little lightheartedness in it. And by the way, just some of y'all asked, and I'll just tell you, I watched the memorial with Wayne. It somehow gave me this feeling of, some form of emotional closure to a degree, because all these positive, beautiful things were said about JJ and Tylee. But at the same time, I couldn't help but wonder about Kay, Larry, and Cresha and them, and thinking, this is going to be a lifelong process for them. And, they're going to go through the grief process however they go through it. And I'm just thankful that they were able to get through that. There were times that Wayne and I just... for me, Wayne didn't cry, but I did. It was sad, but there was also some uplifting moments. And just look at it like this, y'all. How many criminal cases in your life has it translated, and that's no pun intended there, into all this good things that have come about? Think about all the beautiful things that were said, the beautiful music, and everything that could uplift people's hearts. You don't see that. After these crimes are committed and these people are convicted and hauled off to prison, you never see any of the positivity come out of it. But in this case, we have, not only through Cresha, Kay and Larry and other victims' family members, and these community people in Rexburg, Fremont County, and all these beautiful people that have touched hearts, but we have also, as friends, we've created friendships. This world inside of a world where KJ puts on a pickle hat to get a smile out of you. Yes, RJ Lane, Brandon's poems were beautiful. Yes, they sure was. It probably took him some time just to sit and really put that out there. And in a lot of ways, I believe that was a way to help him through his grief. So... Grammy B says it was such a wonderful memorial. I bawled the whole time. Hi, Marilyn. Do you like my pickle? It's a lot bigger than Chad's, don't you know? Chad's got that little itty bitty gherkin. And only Lolo knows how to make it go up a little bit. Fancy Nancy says, I'm so honored to have been able to watch blessings bestowed on these precious children. Honored to have found you and Cresha. Well, we're honored to have found you, Fancy Nancy, and all the rest of you. Karen Lee Holland says the Daybell property should be bought by the county and turned into a memorial park with a playground and a fountain. Yes, Karen Lee Holland, and I like Cresha's idea of a bench with these beams of light coming out of the top, which I forgot JJ and Tylee's favorite colors, which are purple and blue. 2 beaming lights coming out of it would be beautiful. I think the people of Fremont, Rexburg, and all that should sign a petition and tell John Pryor to kiss their damn ass. That's what I say. Mary Seidler says, bet you thought it was Christmas when your pickle arrived. Well, I'll tell you what, when I ordered it, Mary, I was thinking about all of y'all. I thought, surely these people are never going to expect OKJ to wear a pickle on my head. After all these years of talking about the little itty-bitty gherkin. But what do y'all think? Y'all think Chad's holding it together good? You think Chad even thinks for 1 second that he's going to get out of this? When you think about those 2 family members of Tammy's today, think about what they had to say. And this whole thing, this muddy in the water about upstairs and all this and that, y'all, the bottom line is in that house, there are a couple of steps that let, you know, those split floor plans where you're not actually going up a big roll of stairs, but you do go up a couple of stairs into another room. Folks, I don't know why the state doesn't bring that out. The toad is toast, says Mary Seidler. KJ, can you turn the pickle hat for us? Lulu, I'm going to do it right now. I'm going to do it. Oh, you want me to turn it like this. Let's see. You see that right there, y'all? That's what Chad's going to get in prison. Chad's gonna get this for prison, y'all. He's gonna meet someone other than Bubba. He's gonna be meeting a man in prison that's gonna walk up with one of these, and he's gonna say, "Hey, Chad, you want to feel protected? You want to feel like you ain't gonna get beat up or anything? Then I think you need to meet my pickle, my big kosher dill pickle." I know, Marilyn. I know it's hard for y'all to take me serious wearing this big pickle on my head, but I want you to know, Marilyn, you're right. Chad Daybell called Tammy lazy at a memorial speaking there. I'll tell you what, I will be so happy when a big, burly man in prison walks up with one of these great big ones and tells Chad, bend over, buddy, bend over, and you better have that red cape ready because I am charging. Yes, Karen Lee Holland, Tammy did work her ass off. And let me just be clear about my comment on difficult research with Cresha K. Easton. Chad Daybell resented his wife, Tammy, because every time he had to acknowledge that his wife was the breadwinner and stuff, it just made him feel like he wasn't a man. While other people were out here in the world, and don't get me wrong, I think there can be 2 incomes in a family. And traditionally, the man's supposed to make more money than a woman. I don't really care about that. What I'm saying is Chad Daybell didn't do shit. He didn't do nothing for his family but screw around on his wife and lie to his children. Mary Sadler says as Chad is getting his ass lit up like a Christmas tree. Sulan Dornbus says, don't put that pickle in your pocket, KJ. Hi, Tina. Tina, I think I'm going to go into modeling. All right, Tina Reddington, I need to go into modeling. I want the world to know that even though I wear a great big pickle on my head, that Chad Daybell can hide his easily because you can't even see it. It's so little. Oh. Mary Rose says, but he made it look like he did, and his image and all that matters. That's all that matters to narcissists, right, Mary Rose? I'm gonna be a dancing pickle. I'm gonna dance and dance. I'm a sweet pickle, but Chad Daybell don't have a chance. I'd heard that comments at the funeral were odd. It's just terrible that that was told in public about his thoughts with his wife, that his wife was lazy. He is terrible, says Donna Donald. I'm gonna tell you what, when the jurors heard that today, I'm gonna tell you what, Chad Daybell, and that's the aggravating thing, is whenever I know that there's some pivotal testimony going on, obviously you want to zoom in as best as you can to see Chad's expressions. Well, today he sat in the dark. Dark is his damn heart, right? We couldn't hardly see him because of the window behind there showing in the light, making it look darker than it was. I would have loved to have seen the look on his face when those two relatives of Tammy's, the mother and daughter, testified. Put your shoulder to the wheel, Chad. First time ever. Lily Jahan says Chad loves rotten pickles. After her principal said she volunteered for extra work. Right. Yes, Jax. Chad Daybell, you know, I was thinking a couple of days ago when John Pryor brought out it somehow that, like, Tammy said, well, she was telling one of her family members or one of her kids that Chad had to catch a flight and all that. He made his wife believe he was fixing to be famous and all this stuff. And she was just just trying to build him up. No matter how much of a capital L loser he was, Tammy did the right thing. She continued. She continued to stand by her man. And I'll tell you something. This is my saying in it all. You don't have to deal with crazy to divorce it. And she should have. I mean, I know she wouldn't have. And that's wrong of me to say what Tammy should have done. But I'll tell you what. It was either her or Chad that opened up that email from Charles Vallow. So let's just, for sake of argument, say that it was Tammy and she opened the email, read it, and then blocked it. But if you want to believe that, then you've got to look at all her behavior after that. And the way that her friends at school and all these people saying how happy she was and all this and that. But if it was Chad, who what, y'all? He magically, a week before Tammy died, some vision gave him all of Tammy's passwords. Give me a break. Give me a break. A week before she dies, he's telling somebody he has her passwords, explaining that. Well, a week before Tammy died, something really magical or some real kind of divine thing happened. All her passwords. Them jurors aren't stupid, y'all. Carolyn A., I've got a great big kosher dill pickle. It's the same kind of pickle that some man's going to be giving Chad some of when he goes to prison. How about that? Yeah, it was a miracle, Carolyn A. Chad just had a miracle. You know what's interesting about that? If that was true, a week before she dies, why isn't he going to Tammy and saying, hey, Tammy, some miracle just happened. I don't know why. I don't know why I was giving all the passwords, Tammy. Give me a break. Give me a break. Now he's in a pickle, says Mary Sadler. Chad Daybell's in a pickle, y'all. He's got the tiny little itty-bitty gherkin. And I'll tell you what, the jury has absolutely soured on that damn asshole, okay? I mean, OKJ will come on here in a great big pickle hat to tell y'all stuff that y'all probably already know, but you know I'm going to do it. You know I love you. You know I'm going to try my damnedest to lighten things, because I won't lie, y'all, a little earlier, I started crying when I heard Tammy's, what was it, her cousin? It wasn't the daughter of the mother, it was the mother, got on the stand and she was getting emotional. It hurt me, y'all. It hurt me so bad, and I am so sick and tired of having to realize over and over again all the pain and all the suffering that Chad Daybell, the hussy, Melanie Gibb, David Warwick, Zoo Lemma, Audrey Bartario, Nicole Earl, Serena Sharp, and all these men that don't have names walking around out in Chad Daybell's backyard. Give me a break. Cell 82 says, I hope the prosecution brings up the text between Lori and Chad about turning up the pain on the kids that came up in Lori's trial. That will be hard for Pryor to talk about. Well, that's a great point, Cell. I'll tell you this, Cell 82. Chad Daybell is going to know exactly what it means to have the pain turned up on him when a few of the big boys down there in prison start bending him over. Oh, they're going to increase that pain over time. I'm sure Chad will get used to it. I'm sure Chad will figure out ways to make it a little less painful if he can. But it's going to happen because he's a child killer. He's a child killer. Hello, Language of Horses. Language. Do you think that Mr. Wayne will take a bite out of OKJ's pickle hat? Yes, Jill Schneider, it did. It made me tear up. It made others in the chat at Difficult Research with Crusher K. Easton tear up. Y'all, I promise you, I'm not trying to make fun of the tragedy. What I am doing is making fun of that damn asshole, his hussy, and the rest of these kooky ass nut jobs. If I've got to deal with it, you can imagine. You can imagine what the victims' family members are going through. I can't even imagine it. And I've had a brother who's been murdered, and I still wouldn't know what that would be like. For them to come out in a memorial and do nothing but spread positivity in such the midst of all the evil that was done to their family members, that to me is the most uplifting thing of the whole case, is to see this family actually demonstrating love. And love is exactly what is needed in this world. You better believe it. I think, you know what, Carolyn A., if I could be serious all the time, I would. If that's what I knew I could do. But I know that God has given all of us different personalities and things that they can do. And my personality isn't for personal gain. It's to be there for other people. And if people want to laugh and say, KJ, you are pathetic. KJ, you're not even funny. I guarantee you. If I'm as stale as week old bread, I'm going to get a smile out of somebody. And I'll tell you, smiling needs to happen in this world. That is exactly what Chad Daybell and the hussy does not want other people to do. Lori wants to come into the courtrooms and act like nothing's wrong with her. Like she's hopping up and down, smiling, chatting, happy and all that. But we all know how black her heart is, and we know that's an act. What you see here, this is fake. This pickle hat is fake. But what you're looking into OKJ's eyes, that's the truth. And yes, I'm going to find something positive, because that's what evil doesn't want. Mary Seidler says the wait over 4 years is huge. You gotta laugh. We have heard so much new things, Mary Seidler. Just the other day, I'm on here out in the dark with the Rays on here and other people that want to join, and I'm sitting there having to say, yes, Tammy believed in light and dark and the rating. She at least knew about it. And, that hurt me. But then I got to thinking, you know what? I have no room at all to judge her or any of these victims because they were just living their lives the way they wanted to live it. Tammy didn't do nothing illegal. Tammy never did nothing. Neither did the kids, neither did Charles or Joe Ryan or Brandon Boudreaux. No, none of them. They were all law-abiding, innocent people. Karen L., if I can make an ass of myself on a live stream and get a smile out of you, that means everything to me. Everything. That's what I want. That's what I want. I want to see you have a positive feeling inside. And, it's really entirely up to all of y'all whether you do or not. It ain't like KJ can make anything happen. But I'm willing to give it a shot. She was probably just trying to relate to her husband by sharing an interest, says CSI, crowdsourced illuminations. So, Chad Daybell, he is, this is what was day 13. He's been in there every day. Some days he seems to laugh at stupid things John Pryor quips about. Other days, he sits stoic. Some days, they have headlines saying Chad Daybell's crying. I guarantee you, Chad Daybell only cries for himself. He ain't crying for the victim of his murdered wife. He's a murderer. He's a serial killer. He's only crying tears. Oh, he grabs a tissue. I watched him closely. He grabbed that tissue. It never got even put up to his face. Maybe one point he went like that. It was as dry tissue as it was going to be. I'm sure John Pryor told him before, after taking a freaking swig off his damn flask before they came in the courtroom. Now be sure to grab that tissue, Chad. Let them know. Got to show them emotion. The only emotion Chad had was when Lori was riding him. And he's sitting there, and she's pretending, she's faking everything, but he's like, oh, I've never had it like this before. Give me a break. Give me a break. Yes, his tissue moment, Jill Schneider. I mean, you can see right, this man wants to talk about he can see beyond the veil, and he can rate people, whether they're light or dark. Well, I'll tell you what, I know enough to look at that damn asshole. I know he is dark. He is dark as they get. You know why? Not that old KJ's judging him, because you will know them by their fruits, and Chad Daybell is a serial killer with a little itty-bitty gherkin. And this great big pickle you see on my head, this great big pickle, Chad's going to get real acquainted with that in prison. Chud can't really cry. It was a dry wire on each eye. He can't even fake a damn cry. Says Fancy Nancy. Oh, Lord. Oh, dear. So, he gets tomorrow off. Chad does. And so does everybody else. And y'all, I found out just now because y'all let me know it was over a deputy who was killed. And I hate that. I thought it was just they were just going to take a day off. That's how it seems to be. I mean, weren't they taking Fridays off at some point? I think they were at Lori's trial at some point, I think. But I don't know if y'all remember this or not, but they sure took a hell of a lot of breaks in Lori's trial. And they even took days off. So, I don't know. They just do things different in Idaho. You would think a death penalty case, let's just keep on keeping on, Mary Sadler says, I don't care what Toad does or doesn't do. He's a waste with a lily pad, but I do think it will end life without parole. Artie and AC says Chad's dark portal will get expanded. Chad's dark portal will get expanded by the big pickle. I love you too, K-Tech. It's Boyce, says Karen Lee Holland. Boyce really doesn't run like this. Teresa Moore says, first deputy in that county killed in the line of duty. I know, Teresa. Someone said that earlier. I didn't know it. I felt like a dumbass, complaining about it being off, them being off tomorrow. I didn't know. I've had to keep up with other stuff. And by the way, if Donald or any of y'all are on here that's been going to difficult research, OKJ was not cut out to be a moderator, but I am trying to help Cresha out. So forgive me if I'm not fast on the moderation, but I mean, I'm doing it to help out, and I'm more than happy to do it. I just ain't perfect at it. It was Christmas Day for Chad when Lori gave him a second look. To keep her interested, he had to play like he was a prophet with powers over life and death. Yeah, Just Edie, there's no court tomorrow because I guess the city there is taking like a governmental day off because a deputy was shot and killed, the first one in Ada County. So that's so sad. These people, these law enforcement, EMTs, firemen, firewomen, all these people, they pretty much put their life on the line for everybody each and every day. Right, Donna Donald. I'm glad that, you understand that, because I cannot commit to being a moderator on Cresha K. Easton's difficult research. I just can't. I'll do it through the duration of this trial on and off if I can, but I honestly just can't see myself doing that after this trial. All the court deputies are going to the funeral. There you go. So they'll be short-staffed as well, Mary Sadler says. Yes, SQ. Tomorrow's that deputy's funeral. I'm just learning all this. Karen Lee Holland says, shocking for Boise. The killer shot him before he even got to the door after pulling him over. That's so sad. I didn't even know that, y'all. I mean, these terrible things, they happen. Sometimes it's hard for me to try to find anything good about anything sometimes if I really focus in on all the terrible things that go on. But I've got to remember that there are good people and good things going on every day in this world. I don't consider it the hot seat, Donna Donald. I'm honored. I'm honored that Cresha would make me a moderator, but like I said, I'm just not cut out for it. Maria P. says, I can't stand the sight of Chud. I'm looking forward to seeing him dressed in prison garb and dragged away to prison. Me too, Maria P. And there's going to be lots of hairy, burly men waiting on Chad. They'll probably fight over him, I get the new fresh meat. No, I do. Well, let's compare pickles. Who's ever got the biggest pickle gets to have the fresh meat. Oh, that's so sad, Teresa. That deputy was 26-year-old and his wife was expecting their first child. That is so sad. That is so sad. I hate that. So, until then, until we get back together Wednesday morning, we'll get back together at Difficult Research with Cresha K. Easton, and I'm hoping that we'll hear from Cresha soon, but I definitely would never pressure her or any of us. I don't think none of us would pressure her to come on, but if she does, because she wants to, come on her channel, I'm going to be waiting on the edge of my seat to hear from Cresha, see how she's doing. Jason was on Difficult Research's live stream today, and he said that he thought that Cresha was in the courtroom today. So I didn't see her, but maybe she was sitting off to the side. But Jason said when I asked him, he said, I think so. Dog Mom says, after Bubba, a great big salty pickle would hurt. Ouch. It's going to be a freak pickle party at the prison, says Artie and AC. Yeah, I think so too, Fancy Nancy. I think Donna Donald, it's Cresha's birthday today or tomorrow. Do you know? Today is the 29th, is it? Is her birthday on the 30th? Yes, Carolyn A. It was old KJ. KJ was the very first to bring up that Chad Daybell had the little itty bitty gherkin. He had a gherkin pickle. Artie at AC says he's going to be swallowing pickles whole. Donna Donald says that she thinks Cresha's birthday is May the 2nd or 3rd. Y'all, we've got to find out. I'm going to have to do something special for Cresha for her birthday. For sure. Artie at AC, you're on a roll. Open wide. Open wide for Chunky. Chunky. Chad Daybell, he's not like Hussey. Hussey is, there's no one like Hussey in terms of demeanor during trial. Chad, he's sat most of the time a little stoic, but every once in a while, he'll find something humorous. But I've watched him, y'all. And if you go back, and I think I'm going to go back and let you know the timestamp and everything, he is actually, y'all, sitting at some points during the trial, twiddling his thumbs, y'all. He's done it. I've seen him do it. It's pathetic. Donna Donald says Cresha's birthday is May the 3rd. Okay, y'all, let's not forget that. Okay, Jay's going to definitely have to think of something good for old Cresha. Or young Cresha. I'm old KJ. Carolyn A says, Bubba days ahead for Chad. I hope it's better than his under the stairs life. Good point. CSI says, open up and say ah. It's time to talk today about pickles, those damn pickles. Chad's on his way to a prison cell, and those pickles will go straight up his tail. Oh, Maria P., Hussey. She's keeping an eye on her king. She don't care that he's throwing her under the bus. He's got to keep himself safe, don't you know? He's got to keep himself safe from all the dark canes in the world. You know what? This guy thinks he's all that, but he ain't got one bigger than this as a gherkin. You would think if this man is so divine, he'd have a big freaking salami. No, I'm not, Vix Tex. I am a comedian in my own right, okay? Pickle portal, says Mary Sadler. LOL, relish the pickle, says Artie and AC. Oh, yeah. Emma putting money on Lori's commissary account, but she'll go on Dateline NBC and say, if it wasn't for her, she framed my daddy. She framed my daddy, and now I've got to go dye my hair blonde because I have taken over the spirit of the hussy. Give me a break. Pinky Pickle. Oh, he eats bologna, says Fancy Nancy. He's going to know all about the mystery meat. You know what I mean? Right. He doesn't. He doesn't have stairs to live under now. The Bethy Boop says. I don't know if I could show the control and decorum that the family members have had to face that crap sat in the same room as them, right? Carolyn A says, it's a surprise. It's Chad Daybell's third segment of his life. He's going to get the pickle, y'all. You can be sure of it. Gray bologna at the no pickles. You know, I was listening a while back, Charlie Adelson, and some of y'all know who that is. He's the guy that got convicted for killing his brother-in-law there with his mother, Donna Adelson. And he was telling his mother, Donna, on a phone call that all they give him is a couple of slices of bread with some peanut butter on it. That's Chad Daybell's life. Chad Daybell's never going to know what it's like to ever go out to Cafe Rio again or anything else. He's not going to be able to get his own wife's cooking. He's never going to get his own mother's cooking. He's just going to be sitting in a prison cell hoping that he doesn't get the pickle up the butt. That's what I'm talking about. Maria P. says, I'm so looking forward to hearing Emma's lies and Heather Daybell telling the truth. Yes, Vix Tex, the forensic experts to testify. Y'all, that FBI cast guy today, he slammed it home. There's no denying it. And, you know, DNA evidence is different than this cast unit, the GPS pings and all that. But it's kind of, if you really think about it, that is something that jury members, you can't lie about it. You can't skew it or anything. It is what it is. And I think those jury members are absolutely, they're looking at that and saying, damn. For a guy whose attorney keeps saying that it was Alex, but Alex was around Chad all the time, either out at his property, even on other days, also on the phone with him. It was always Lori, Chad, Alex, Chad, Lori. It was always those three. And this whole thing about John Pryor saying to that cast guy today, well, you didn't check Melanie Gibb and David Warwick's phone. Did you know that they were out there? They weren't out there when Tylee was burned up and destroyed. They were there the weekend JJ was murdered. And y'all know how I feel about that. But John Pryor is, number one, he's testifying or creating a narrative that's not even in evidence. So, I mean, I guess he's got to do what he's got to do. And some of y'all believe for what he's got, he's doing a good job. I think he's putting on his defense, but he had nothing, absolutely nothing for that cast report today. Nothing. Badger says, although John Pryor tried real hard to make them think it could be skewed, everyone is out to get Chad, local law enforcement to the FBI. Right. You'd have to believe that they're all Dirk Canes, K-Tech. That Chad really didn't do anything. And, you know, John Pryor didn't explain it in his opening. Or he hasn't explained it at all. Hasn't inferred anything that Chad was not involved in any of this. He can't, because Chad is intertwined with Alex and Lori so far up his freaking butt there that these jurors can tell. They can tell that they were the dynamic trio, the serial killer group. Yes, the pet cemetery was very incriminating. Right, RDNAC. The jury would have to believe that the FBI framed Chad Daybell. Give me a break. Well, Karen Lee Holland, when you say it'd be nice if he blamed the LDS, Chad Daybell has been excommunicated. I did see that letter that was sent to the jail that was released. And the bottom line is I think that first and foremost, that letter should have not been released. So I think somebody in that church that might have something to do with that jail. Might have helped that along to kind of give better PR for the church. But that's neither here nor there. What I am saying is Chad Daybell has been talking about, you know, example, in Utah, that talks about the honeybee state or the honeycomb state, and how in LDS they sometimes refer to their church as like the honeybees and the honeycomb and all that. Well, Chad Daybell was killing bees years ago. What kind of symbolic nature is that? You see what I'm saying? I think Chad doesn't care at this point. If Chad can't be the prophet, if Chad can't be the freaking prophet of the church, or he's going to pretend to be the prophet of a new church that has nothing to do with that church, y'all, it's pathetic. It's pathetic. Why was Chad calling Alex if he was so afraid of killing him? Right. You know, and this whole thing about why would Alex want to shoot at Chad? Because John Pryor made it look like on October 9th that maybe, you know, that Dodge vehicle there, Chad drove it, maybe this person was trying to take Chad out. Does anybody think that Lori Hussey Daybell would have wanted Alex to harm a hair on her king's head? Right, the beehive. That's what I meant to say, Jill Schneider. I've done a little research on it. It's just kind of strange. I'm not saying that's the way it is. I'm just saying it's weird that he was killing all those bees years ago, and then, you know, then he goes off the deep end and uses the church for whatever, I guess, to get his members, because he wanted the power of being the head of that church, self-professed or self-proclaimed God. Right. I do too, R.J. Lame. I think John Pryor is annoying the jury just as much as I'm probably annoying all y'all in my great big pickle hat. You know? So, I'm going to get off here. I just wanted to get with y'all today. I love you all. OKJ will always seek to get justice through understanding, but I will also always try to find the positive. And I love to think that in my heart of hearts that y'all can smile and have good, positive feelings. And I do about the memorial over the weekend. That lifted things for me as well. And that's exactly what Cresha, Kay, Larry, and the rest of their family and the other victims' family members, they are showing and demonstrating to us all that they can rise above this evil. Yeah, KJ talks about all these things about how I'd like to beat Chad Daybell's ass, and I make fun of him and the Hussey and the rest of them. But that's just a way for me to let it go. And I love you all. I hope y'all have a great day. Don't get your fingers stuck in a jar of pickles. Keep on looking.